and let it cool down and tear it down tomorrow and see if it's the solenoid sticking or maybe a spring or something in the jake housing is maybe went wrong, but I really don't know until I tear it down tomorrow. We'll let it cool down and gotta change the oil in it and all that good stuff. So hopefully something easy we can find, and it's gonna be, you know, something easy we can find and fix. I done got two solenoids, however you want to say it, ordered to be here Monday, plus the rebuild kit, tune-up kit for the jake houses. So I have never done a tune-up kit for the jake houses, so we're gonna do it anyhow. Even if it needs it or not, we're gonna go ahead and do a tune-up for it. Gotta grab a gear. Can't find it, grind it, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what we can find. All right, well, I think I found the problem. I think it was the solenoid sticking. That's the number. That's 43406E. That's the part number from Cat that I got. And I unplugged this one and everything. It was working fine then, meaning when I had it on stage 3, the middle and the front solenoid was working, and it didn't make the, like when I was before, when I had all 3 stages, even the 1 and 2 stage working, when I let off, jakes would work, and then when I get back on the throttle, they was still activated, the jakes was, and then they finally would shut off. So I wasn't really sure what it was, but I just went to and just took this one off because it's the easiest to get off, this valve cover on the very back, and I unplugged the solenoid and I drove it up and down the road. Of course, I put the valve cover back on it, and my tubing, my air tubing to my air filters to the turbo here. But I did take go up and down the road, and with the jakes, 3 stage, 2 stage, and the first stage, and it worked fine. So I'm assuming it's going to be a solenoid that was sticking, making the oil pressure, pressurizing the jakes even when I was getting back on the throttle. So we're going to try it and see if it works, and see if that's the problem. Maybe it will be. And this jake housing is the model 340A, and that's your solenoid there. And these lines right here, I've run this motor so it's kind of hot. Just try to disconnect the wire there. And I did get the kit to rebuild all 3 jakes, and I'll give you the kit number if you wanted to go through and rebuild the jake brakes. I'm hoping this is what it's going to be, because I'm under a load right now. I can still work with it. I just don't need to. I just use stage 1 if I'm going to try to slow myself down any. I mean, it helps a little bit, but not near as if you was on stage 2 or 3. And this is a 3/4 socket, so just get it on there and loosen it up, and that's what we're about to do. Pause it, break it loose, and I'll get back. So there's the O-ring. When you get the solenoid, they come with 2. There's the O-ring that's down the very bottom. You can wipe away the oil and you'll be able to see it, and just get you a little pick and be able to get it out like so. Just the little ring right there. Like I said, it comes with them. If you get the tune-up kit, it'll come with them as well. If you're just doing a tune-up kit, I mean, you can just replace the O-rings if your solenoid's working just fine. It'll be fine. But like I said, this, show you this part number again. This is 3406E, a 5EK prefix, and I assume that's just about all of them, except when you get to the Acer motors, the NSS, the NSS, the bridge motors, the MBN. I'm not sure about them, but the 3406E and probably the early models like that, the 6NZ, I'd say the same part number, but check with your cat dealership just to make sure. Let's see, it comes with the other O-rings already on it here, so I'll put oil on them before I replace it in there. Set it to the side and then try to push this O-ring down. And it's hot out here. I mean, it's summertime, July here in Georgia, so it's hot. So you just kind of push that down and it gets in that groove, and you're good to go. Yeah, it's down in there in that groove, and it's good. But that O-ring is set where it's got this lip right here where my thumb is, right there. That's where that bottom O-ring is set. I got my can of oil right here. I wanted to put a bit of oil on there. I don't have any kind of fancy equipment to film. I'm trying to film with my other, but I mean, it's got oil in there, but I'm gonna put just a little bit. Get a pump out here. There it comes. There we go. There we go. We got a little bit of oil on here. You can see, and kind of rub that on there around the threads, and we're gonna stick it down in here and start screwing it in here. But what I done, I gave Cat my engine serial number, and they looked it up like that. Hopefully they gave me the right ones. It took 2 days to get these things in because they kept on messing up on the order for some reason. Once I screw that in, I'll be right back. So I got it in here, had to screw it, and finally it popped down in there with that middle O-ring. And redone my wire, kind of rerouted a little bit, but nothing major like I said. But as long as it's not getting your valve drained, you're fine. Gonna put the valve cover back on, tubing, drive it up down the road and see if it works. Let you know. Alright, so I tried the solenoid. It didn't work. I'm still doing the same thing. And so I don't know, I might be wrong too, but since I got this tune-up kit, and I don't know when these jakes, this is on the back housing on close to the firewall, and I know it's this one that's doing it. Why? Because when I unplugged the wiring harness, it was, you know, it was using this jake housing, and it wasn't doing what it was doing, meaning when I was getting off the throttle, and with my jakes, I had, when it was on set on 2 or stage 3, where all 3 of them's working, or just 2 of them is working, it would, they'd work, every one of them would work, but when you get back on the gas, it's this one that was wanting to hang up and keep jaking even when I get back on the throttle, if that makes sense. I'm just a dumb hillbilly here, so. But when I unplugged it and I cut it on stage 2 or 3, it didn't do that. So that's why I'm thinking it might be a spring broken, so or something. We'll see. If it's not, it could be the wiring that goes to this one. It could be the something in the wiring harness, and we'll just have to get a new wiring harness. So I don't know. We're going to try this out, and I'm going to show you guys how to rebuild these Jake brakes, model 340A. And I done showed you the number, but just in case, that's the kit number, 19654 JCB, and it's the genuine parts. And they give you instructions too with it. So anyhow, so I didn't show you how to take it off, but basically on this one you have these bolts in the back, these 4 and 2 right here, and that's it. And anyhow, this right here, I think it's a 4mm, so that's what worked in there, and it does not have no slop, and so I'm going to hit it a couple of good times, and take my ratchet, and hopefully it breaks loose. I don't have a tripod or anything like that, so let's see if it, yep, pretty simple. And this is spring loaded right here. It don't got the major spring. That's why I got these C-clamps here to show you how to do it. You can buy the tool from Jacob Brakes, and, or Jake Brakes, whatever you want to call them. And do that. This is the tool that they show you to use that they have, but C-clamp you can use with a socket, and I'll show you how to do that when we get to it. But these won't fly out at you. These are not that springy. They don't have they're not thick springs, so just hold it down. I see I can hold it down and screw it off, but that's how you do it. I'm going to hold it down with my other hand, screw it off, both of them off, and then I'll be right back. Back. I think I found the problem. So these are the 2 springs that was in this side, and this small spring just goes up there like so, fits down, and you have these little sleeves here. But here we go. I'm assuming it's on that side, so I still got to pull that one out, but as you can tell, let me try to pull it out real quick. The difference. Looks like it just collapsed. I don't think it just collapsed on itself. Looks like just bent. Yeah, I think that's what it happened. That's what happened. Let me show you. All right, 1 second. Yeah, I got shorts on. It's hot. Like I said, it's early July, but that's the collapse spring. That's what it's supposed to look like. So looks like, yep, it just broke. And that kind of makes me feel better. That's probably what happened. Let's see if I can get this thing out. I'll have to get something else to get them out, but yeah. Yep, I think that's probably why it was hanging up. I know that didn't help. I know that couldn't help. So, I mean, honestly, if you just wanted to check these springs and not have to take the whole thing off, I'm pretty sure all you had to do is take them out without taking the Jake housing off the cylinder head. So, valve train and all. So anyhow, yeah. So, like I said, if you got something going on like that, you can just leave this Jake on. You don't have to take it off. You don't have to time it. You just take the 2 screws out, and like I said, use one hand to push it down so it ain't gonna spring out and hurt you, but you know, where you don't get it in your motor. You just hold it and screw with your hand and it'll come out. So, yep, there you go. All right, I'll get back with you in a second. I gotta get these out here. All right, so I get on those pliers. Zoom out here to get these out. I had to kind of tilt it up and shake it a little bit to get these to come up where I could get the end of my pliers, you know, because the hole's only so big, you can't open the pliers up so wide, so you need to try to make sure you get it as close to the end as possible, then you can grab onto it like this, and that's how they came out like so, with that nipple on the end. So I'll set these to the side. We're not going to reuse these because we have new ones. And then these right here, 5/8. I done got this one out here. 5/8. Just take the nuts off. That's your adjuster. When you put them back on, you're gonna have to set your lash on them. So just took a 5/8 there, hammered it the nuts off, and then get you a screwdriver and just screw your adjuster out that you adjust your Jake brakes with. Which these are set on 30 thousandths. I set these on 30. The high horsepower, you go 30. I think lower horsepowers, I think you can go like 28 thousandths. But check when you pull Jake brake up, if you got whatever model number you got, match it with the horsepower, match the model number of Jake brakes that you got with the horsepower, and it'll tell you what lash to set your Jakes on. So we got that done, got those out now, and also try to keep everything in going back, because you're gonna have, except these of course, but we're gonna pull out the sleeves and, on the other side where we're gonna have to use this C-clamp. Just be sure that you it probably don't matter, but be sure you put it back in the same hole. Just flip it over and get to the other side. All right, now we're gonna have to use, we got snap ring. So we'll try to get it out. If I can do it with both hands, I don't know. I might have to get. But anyhow, I'm gonna have to probably use both my hands. But got a snap ring. You see it down in there. Hang on a second. See that snap ring where my screwdriver is right there? Take that snap ring out, then you can pull this out. And you have a washer, a big washer, and then a small washer. But I'll show you when I get it off. Be right back. All right, so I told you wrong. There's only one washer. This is the sleeve. And the way to get the sleeve out, because it's stuck down in there. I say stuck, but it's down in there like so. Once you get your snap ring off, you know, it's down there like so. Just put some oil around it. Once you get snap ring your washer off, and then you get some oil around it, put it down like that, and it'll cause suction and it'll come up. But I guess I'll clean that one off. Then you have the spring right here that comes off, and it's like this. It's on there like that, and that's what them springs for. So, but if you take it all apart, you can clean it up and whatnot. But I'm not going to take, so that's what you use the C-clamp on, and I'll show you kind of how to do it. But I'm not going to take it off. The reason I'm not going to take it off is because I don't have those springs anyhow. So it don't make sense for me to it don't make sense for me to take that off. But I'll show you kind of the way you can take it off if you want to take it all the way off like that. So, but 1 second. Bug on me. We'll get some clean oil and I'll show you what I'm talking about, how to get that sleeve out. Got a lot of junk in here I got to get cleaned up. And when you're driving your own truck and working on it at the same time, it's kind of hard to find time, especially when you have a lot of equipment to pay for. So I'm just going to squirt it in here. Squirt some clean oil in there. Kind of move it around a little bit, twist it, and then cause the suction, and so you can get that baby right out, just like that. Or if you're completely going through it, you can put a little bit of oil on it. That way I can put it back in clean oil. But you know, even on this side, you want to keep these pistons in the same sleeve, and since it's been in there for so many miles, you know, so I'm just kind of rubbing it around that way that oil gets on there. And then what I'll do is get one of these springs right here. You can just match it up. That's the spring right there. Put the new spring. Get my washer. You'll have to pry it down, like I said. I'll have to use both hands and then get a snap ring and go down, and it fits in a groove around there. And when you do do it, you understand what I'm talking about. But that's the old spring right there. And some people, like right here, if you feel like a little lip, you can take a file and file that. But this seems to be pretty good. But you don't want to file a bunch of material. You just want to get, if you got any kind of burrs, if you feel any kind of burrs, just file just very lightly burrs off. You know, like you're out there too. But what you want to do before you take that snap ring off for these, this is the one you got to worry about. You want to get a socket to fit over that, but not big where it's going to block your snap ring. Okay, and then I was going to use this. I made that in school back a long time ago when I took my machining tool. Then you want to put the C-clamp. Hang on one second. Try to get it situated here. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really got a big table. All my other tables are occupied. Stuff on them. Okay. Yep, I'll have to get a bigger C-clamp. That C-clamp's not even going to work. Okay. Alright, so I'm not going to get a big C-clamp, but basically, I don't know if I can. I got one, but I'm not going to run around and get it. Basically, put this, you know, of course, put it on top of that socket, and make sure this ain't big enough, you know. But basically, get it where it's secure. Start screwing down on your socket to relieve some tension on that. You can hear it. Once you relieve a little tension on that, make sure your C-clamp's good and secure. Then you can take that snap ring off, and then just slowly loosen your C-clamp, and then that spring, you got the big spring in here, but the kit don't come with the big spring, so, and it's made to move around like that, by the way. That's normal. So that's how you do it if you're just going to take the whole thing apart. And I done put a solenoid and it's got new O-rings, so I'm not going to put it, take it out, but it does come with new O-rings. If your solenoid's still working and you want to replace them, you just unscrew that solenoid, put your O-rings, that goes inside the jake, you'll push down and goes in the groove. That's the middle O-ring, and that's be your top one up top. When you take your old solenoid out, you'll see the color coding on it. So anyhow, that's how you do it there. But and assemble it back is the same. You just, the way you take it apart, you assemble it back the same. And then the torque, just look up the Jacob brakes on your model, whatever. It can be different than mine, but as far as the torque goes, and then you got to reset your overhead for your Jakes on 5 and 6. This is on 5 and 6 cylinders, so I have to reset my exhaust on the. I have to turn the motor on TDC 1 or 6 and set the exhaust side on the Jakes. So, and I got a video on how to do the overhead on that too. But anyhow, like I said, you go back the way you take it apart, you go back and put it back together, just like that. So hope this helps. If you got any questions, you got the way you do it better than I showed you, then, you know, comment below. Let us all know. We're all learning. Thanks. Oh, if you would subscribe, it's free. And I try to post videos like this. Working on an old truck, so try to maybe teach somebody something, and trying to pass the knowledge that I've learned along to others. So if you would just like and subscribe, comment below if you would, share the video if you want to. Thank you.